How's it going, everybody? Bam, back with another video. Today we're post day 2 of the RLCS World Championship. The recap of today, as well as the preview for tomorrow, is already up on YouTube, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But for this video, we're actually going to be taking a look at one team in particular. So if we come over here to the standings, there's a couple teams that stand out. Optic and Semper at the top, obviously. Paving the way at 8-0 in games. But if we look a little bit further down here, the middle of the table, I'm looking at this team right here, Dignitas, currently sitting in a 5-way tie for 8th, at 4-4 in games, 1-1 in matches. And that 4-4 in games and 1-1 in matches is really what I want to talk about here. So they beat Gaming Gladiators, to be expected. And then they got swept today by Optic in the final match of the mainstream. So I wanted to take a look at it, what's going on with Dignitas. So if we take a look at their overall results here, 2022 has not been their year. They've been a consistent 9th through 12th place team in Europe. They finished 9th through 12th at Gamers 8. They did finish top 6 at the most recent EU regional. They got pounded by BDS, who have kind of fallen off a cliff, so that's not exactly a great loss. I think BDS are still better. You can see they got beat by 0-1 to get knocked out of Gamers 8. They got beat by BDS to get knocked out of the 3rd regional. They got beat by Luminosity, swept by Luminosity, to get knocked out of the 2nd regional. They got swept by Vitality in a show match, so we won't super count that one, but it does still, count for something. They got beat by Team Liquid to get knocked out of the regional event, first regional event. Again, not a terrible loss, but that's a team that you would expect Dignitas to be beating, especially with their, collective experience now, as they're all getting, 18, 19 years old, against Liquid. Now, Liquid's a good team. I expect Liquid to be very good in EU next season, but you can't be finishing 9th, 12th if you're Dignitas, and then obviously the major, they got knocked out by Evil Geniuses. And really, I'm looking at since this winter major. So, they finished 2nd and 3rd. They had a fine winter split in Europe, and then they got to the major, and in their first match of the winter major, here we'll go to their overall results. Down here at the bottom, they got reverse swept by Space Station. And I really want to emphasize this reverse sweep right here to Space Station, this 2-3 result, because since that loss, they beat Pioneers 3-1, and then they immediately lost to EG to bomb out of the winter major. That win against Kansas City Pioneers, that 3-1 win, is their best win, arguably, since that loss to Space Station. Because if you go up, they beat KCP, they beat Wild, they beat 00 Nation, they beat Juicers, they beat Guild, who admittedly did very well in Gamers 8, but they haven't done much of anything in Europe, in European competition. They beat Luminosity, they beat 0-1, and then immediately lost to 0-1, and then they beat Gladiators yesterday in the World Championship wildcard. There's not a great team in that list. There's KCP, who were just kind of starting that upward trend because KCP beat them game 1 and then Dignitas won 3 in a row. But I mean, KCP are better than Dignitas right now. That's their only win that you can definitively say that the other team, the team that they beat, is better than them. I mean, 0-1 they beat, but then they immediately lost to, so maybe you could say 0-1's better than them. But I mean, you look at the teams that they lost to. They lost to Optic today. They lost to 0-1 and Falcons. Those are both fine losses in Gamers 8. They lost to BDS. You're fine with that. They lost to Semper. That's not really one you should be losing. They lost to Luminosity. That's not one you should be losing. They've lost to Liquid twice. I don't think those are two that you should be losing. They got swept by Vitality. Again, it was a show match, but you shouldn't be getting swept by Vitality. And then they lost to Solary and EG. So I don't know what's going on with Dignitas. I don't know if I would venture to guess that there's a roster move coming. I don't know who it's going to be. To me, it feels like Jack and Scrubkilla are a little bit more together, and then Jory is just kind of off doing his own thing. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I just think that something needs to happen because Dignitas have been historically a very good team. You can see 58% in series, 54% in games, and they're just getting dangerously close. They're 8-11 in their 19 matches since then, and there's not an impressive win on that board. There's not an impressive win. They haven't beaten anybody that's better than them. They haven't beaten anybody that's a surprise. They're 8-11, and there's 8 wins against bad teams. 7 wins against bad teams and a win against KCP, and then there's 11 losses to teams that are better than them and some teams that are worse than them. So, I don't know what needs to happen with Dignitas, but they brought in a coach, and people thought that would be the answer, and it doesn't look like it's the answer to this point. But they're 8-11 in matches. They're 37-41 in games. So they're just average. They're just 500. They're just average right now. And they got 0-1 again tomorrow. So they're basically playing the best of set against 0-1 tomorrow. I would think that they should win that, but if they lose it and they go to 0-2 or 1-2, sorry, that is not where you want to be if you're Dignitas. If you win it, you're probably playing a Semper, or you can't play Optic again, so maybe you're playing you could be playing a version 1 in the 2-1 spot. That's not a team you want to be playing. You could be playing a Pioneers at 2-1. They have, assuming they beat the club. So you probably don't want to play Pioneers. You probably don't want to play version 1. You probably don't want to play, Semper Carmine or Space Station, whoever loses and drops to 2-1. So Dignitas are in a really bad spot right now, and if they lose to 0-1, they could play a Renegades or a Team Secret in that 1-2. They could get a freebie. They could play one of the winners of the APAC SSA brawl down here at the bottom. But Dignitas are not in a good spot right now. They really needed this win against Optic to just continue to give themselves that buffer in this Swiss stage. I would not be surprised if Dignitas lose out in Swiss. And I mean lose out as in they don't make top 16. I don't think that they just lose 2 more in a row here. But Dignitas are struggling, man. And it's upsetting to see because, that's such a prominent name in Rocket League. But something's got to change. I don't know if it's a play style adjustment. I don't know if it's, they added a coach. I don't know if it's just getting used to a coach. But something's got to change for Dignitas. I don't know what it is. That's for them to find out and for me to watch them find out. So let me know what you guys think down below. Does Dignitas need to make a roster change? Do they need to, figure something out? Because they have not looked good at all the past 4 months or so. And it's only going to get worse as we move forward in the Swiss if they don't figure stuff out. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you disliked it, click the dislike button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Click that bell icon so you get notified whenever I go live, whenever I upload a video. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.